Today is Thursday, July 18th, and we are broadcasting live from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. Good afternoon and welcome to this week's Vendasta webinar. So ZyraTalk is one of the products in the Vendasta marketplace that we recently launched. ZyraTalk helps local businesses win and retain customers through their proprietary chat, SMS, Facebook, and review capture tools. My name is Cam. I am a product marketing manager here at Vendasta, and with me today is the ZyraTalk team. Brian, Brad, and Jeff. Hi team, how are you doing today?
We're doing great, Cam. Thanks for asking.
Doing really well.
Yeah, thank you for taking the time to talk to our partners today. So just as a reminder to all the attendees, if you have any questions at all, as usual, we'll get to them towards the end of the webinar. And if for some reason I can't get to your questions today, I will be following up with you after the webinar. So with that, I'll let the experts take control.
Awesome. So thank you again for everybody for taking time out of your day to listen to what we have to offer and how we help our clients win. So really the agenda for us is we want to focus on the first part of the webinar today on why we exist, how we help businesses win, and why people choose us versus some of the other solutions out there. And then we'll push it over to Andrew, who's our Director of Strategic Partnerships, who is going to focus most of the time on how you actually can present this to your clients and tell a compelling story as to why it's something they should be using. So ultimately go back to the last slide. What we do is help local businesses win. The reality today is consumer expectations are higher than ever. People want instantaneous experiences. They want to communicate on the channel that they want to communicate on. So we exist ultimately to help them automate those communication channels, provide business efficiencies because they don't have the ability to man them. They don't have the bandwidth, the resources, the know-how. So we do that for them. And in return, obviously, they get more lead generation, more data capture, and provide a better customer experience. The problems, if we holistically look at ultimately the motivating factors as to why businesses provide or ultimately choose our solution, these are the problems that they face at a high level. One, again, customer expectations are higher than ever. We talked about the bandwidth, resources, and labor issues. They aren't leveraging the data to their advantage, which we'll get into on the back end. They're spending a lot of money on advertising, but a lot of them don't understand what traffic is converting and if they're doing it in an efficient manner. They have internal teams or they have third-party partners that they're partnering with, and obviously there's a lot of money and investment in those resources. A lot of SMBs specifically can't afford that, so those solutions are not viable for them. And then ultimately, at the end of the day, that traffic that you are driving to your site, you want to make sure that you have something in place to make sure that you're converting as much as you possibly can, because you need to. That media campaign that you're spending money on, make sure it converts as high as possible. We're going to get into the demo, but I did want to spend a little bit of time on, we obviously realize that there's other solutions out there. We want to just focus a little bit on what differentiates us, and it really comes down to three things. One, the omni-channel experience. This is a platform, not just a chat bot. So we provide the ability to man all communication channels, including social, text, and chat as well. Two, the ability to source track, right? The ability to track the data that's coming in, where it's coming from, how it converted. That is obviously very important. Three, the all-in-one tool, obviously the ability to get additional value in terms of review capture. That's big specifically for SMBs and professional service businesses in the competitive landscape that they exist in. And what's the other one I'm missing, Brian?
Call tracking, hybrid live chat, just kind of the full suite of features that we'll be going through in the demo here in a second.
So from here, I'm going to kick over to Andrew and focus most of our time on how you present this to your clients, and ultimately why hundreds of businesses are using our service to man their communication channels.
All right, everyone, my name is Andrew. Again, like Jeff said, I'm the Director of Strategic Partnerships. So if you guys have any questions for me after the call, I'm sure one of us will share my information. You guys can reach out to me directly. I'd be more than happy to assist. So usually when I walk through my demonstrations and phone calls with clients, I do a little bit of research on the business, maybe 5 minutes before the call, just so I can familiarize myself with the business and the website prior to the phone call, try to figure out where they are, what they're currently using as far as a chat solution, if any solution in place. And then I dig into different things like who may be managing their website, what they're using for capturing reviews, and all the other small details. When I jump on a phone call, I'll set the agenda with them. Hey, what I'd like to cover with you is give you a quick demonstration of the chat solution on a website that is currently using it, so we can show you the live functionality of the chat solution first. We'll then jump over to a dummy account to show you the backend portal, show you the additional features and different reports you can run in there, cover how the onboarding process works, and then share any pricing details available for them. Ask them if there's anything else they want to cover, and usually that'll take a quick 10 or 15-minute phone call to process all that information. So I'll start out by giving you a demo of the chat solution on Chaz Roberts, a very large AC and plumbing company here in Phoenix that uses our solution. And you'll notice blue looking website with the chatbot on the right side of the page. So the first thing I cover with clients is the visual appearance of that being a little bit larger than an average chatbot they may come across on different websites today, is really what we believe in strongly that will engage the clients and get their attention to interact with the chat solution. And we really want to put a lot of importance behind that because our current conversion rates sit between 86 to 92%. So if we can get these clients to interact with the chat solution when they visit the website, we're extremely confident that we'll qualify and convert that traffic into leads for the business. Lead generation side of that, we do that via chat, click to call, and SMS text messaging. So I'll definitely cover one tab at a time with you guys. And then we also capture reviews directly from the solution as well. So we'll talk a little bit about how we do that through ease of use. Once we wrap up here, I'll jump over to the backend portal and show you some different reports you'll have access to, as well as some different features, and give you an idea of how we set this thing up for different websites. So starting with chat, if I jump onto a website and I want to chat, I'll simply go ahead and click on I want to chat. And when I do that, an automated default message will pop up down below saying, welcome to the company I'm visiting, 1 or 2 sentences, describe your needs. I'll go ahead and give you guys a sample. And when I enter this first message, which is a frequent inquiry they see on their website, you'll notice it instantly replies back to me. We can help you with that. Could I start with your name? So what you'll notice at first is it's going to focus on contact information. It's going to ask me for my name, my zip code for location. Next would be my phone number, and lastly, my email for contact information. Once it has all of that information, it considers that a qualified lead. So it reassures the online visitor, which in this case would be myself, that somebody from Chaz Roberts' staff is going to reach out to me to best assist me and schedule an appointment that'll best fit my schedule. And at that point in time, since we've qualified that lead, it will only need a few seconds to send a lead notification to the team members that are set up for lead notifications from Chaz Roberts. And we can do that via email and or text, meaning we can send a link to provide a transcript of that conversation to as many email addresses and text it to as many phone numbers as the team using the chat solution would like. And what that notification will have, again, is just a transcript of the entire conversation that took place so that they have the contact information of the client that was chatting online and they know exactly what their issue is and what they're inquiring for. I will show you in the backend portal all of the different variables and conversation flows we have built. For example, if questions come in reference to pricing, office hours, different jobs or services that may come in that the company may or may not provide, we have different answers that are already preset as default in the backend portal that are customizable. So that's definitely something we can show you here. As you'll notice, I just submitted one for pricing. To give you an example, it obviously says we'll be able to get into price with you. Let's figure out your needs first and make sure that we're going to be the best fit possible. And then it reverts back to that conversation flow of capturing contact information. So that's something we'll definitely touch base on shortly here when we jump into the backend portal. Scrolling back up or clicking on menu will take us back to where we got started. Do keep in mind that if you guys have clients that would desire to receive live chat notifications, that is also something that we can accommodate with. And what we do there is just take the staff members' names, email addresses, and cell phone numbers if they want to provide that as well. And anytime somebody lands on the website as an online visitor and initiates a dialogue via chat or text, we can notify them right away saying, hey, you have a live chat going on your website. If you click on this link, you'll be able to monitor the conversation and even break it automatically. And that'll have a link for them to click on and access that feature. Something I'll show you as well in the backend dashboard shortly. Before we jump over to call and text, this is a very mobile-friendly product. So on a cell phone, it'll appear as an icon, showing them they have the opportunity to expand the solution on their cell phone. And once they do that, it will overtake their entire screen. and everything is touchscreen friendly. So if they want to call into the business, extremely easy. They'll just use the click-to-call installation. That'll dial them directly into the main line. Otherwise, if they're tied up on the other line, if they're in an area with poor reception or whatever the reason is, they just don't want to jump on a phone call, but they still want to communicate with the company, they can also use SMS text messaging. So if they click on text us, it'll open up a text on their phone with their number in it, and it will literally allow them to use the same chat service I showed you, just directly via SMS text messaging from their cell phone. So we'll talk a little bit more about this, but this will still be the automated software replying on the other side, and all of the leads being captured via text will still be recorded for you in the Backend Portal. The texting platform is outbound capable as well, so extremely useful for requesting more views, sending appointment reminders, any personalized messages that you want to send to specific clients. And again, we'll cover the lead generation side shortly in the dashboard, but before we jump over there, capturing reviews, very simple through the product as well. If they click on leave a review, very straightforward. There's a green thumbs up for positive, a red thumbs down for negative. I'll show you both, but let's start with positive. When I click on that, any links the client wants to promote in here, we will go ahead and make sure those show up here. And when the client picks on one, so say I take the Better Business Bureau, for example, it'll automatically open up a new window for me, sign me in, and here I can leave my rating and my review on their services. So literally within 3 clicks, shouldn't take me more than 30 seconds to leave a review for their business and move on with my day. I'll show you the system we have in place to prevent negative reviews. If I start over, leave a review, not very happy with their services that I had received prior, so I'll click the red thumbs down. When I fill this out with my negative review, this will not go online. Everyone, this actually will forward directly to the company and their staff members so that they have an opportunity to review that negative feedback, reach out to the client, and have a chance to speak with them to save the relationship and prevent that review from getting posted online.
Yep, and we still do give them the option for compliant reasons. If they do click here and want to proceed with leaving the review, we still do give them the option to move forward.
Yeah, great point. So that's how we're going to stay within Google's policies and regulations. And then the last tab, it says Deals and Financing. If I click on it, directly takes me to their Deals and Financing page of their website. This is just one of the many options. If there's anything on your client's website they feel that may be necessary to further promote, we can name that tab whatever they'd like. The most common ones will either be the About Us page of a client's website or a Coupons page. And again, it just opens up a new window and takes me directly to that page of the website. So that's going to be the chat solution. I'll jump over to the Backend Dashboard. So this is going to be the home page of the Backend Personalized Portal. Initially, this is for us to build out and fully customize our new clients' accounts. Also for us to access in the future if they ever want any changes or updates to be made. But they do have 100% hands-on access to this. So what I'll show you in here is some different features that you can use, some different reports and analytics you can take a look at. And I'll also show you on the left-hand side how we implement our customers. So in the middle, what I want to show you is customized chatbot, view chats, and reports and stats. If we start with customized chatbot, once the page loads on your end, you'll see 3 tabs towards the top left-hand side, basic, custom buttons, and customize your chat. Under basic is just for us to set up some simple things. So again, we do all the heavy lifting for our clients. We'll go ahead and list the name of their company at the top of the solution, any phone numbers they feel necessary to use for the click-to-call installation. Company logo will go within the bot itself to promote that. And we will actually edit the colors with our development team to make them coherent to the customer's website.
Yeah, and I do want to touch on one thing for dynamic, let me scroll up, dynamic call button right here. If you turn this on, you'll actually want to remove these phone numbers and the locations. And what it's going to do is actually going to scan the page of the website and pull in the first number that's on the site. So companies that are using any sort of dynamic call tracking for their marketing campaigns will be able to pull that number into the Call Now button directly based on that scan that we're doing of the page. So just a little additional piece of value there for the clients.
Yeah, great point, Brian. If we then click on custom buttons, I'll show you guys how we make that last tab on the bot. If I click on that and I click this green plus sign, say they want to promote their coupons page, I would simply click on the green plus button. It'll allow me to name that tab whatever I'd like. So let's just go ahead and use About Us as example. I would click Save. And then below that, I would copy and paste the URL of their About Us page. So very easy for us to build out the account according to the customer's preferences. The last tab to the upper right-hand side, customize your chat. On the left-hand side, this is where I have the opportunity to scroll down and show the clients all of the different variables and conversation flows that we built in years of testing with our development team to fully optimize the solution and make it as conversational as possible. So again, if questions come in, as I submitted an example earlier when we were taking a look at the chatbot in reference to pricing, scheduling, those are very frequent. So we also have one for at the same time. 99% of our clients will keep the default answers as is, as they're very straightforward and customer friendly. But if there's ever a desire to customize those on your preferences, you can highlight the message, type out whatever you'd like, and just make sure that you click save on the right-hand side of the page.
Yep, and this, obviously this is for a home service demo, as we just showed Chaz Roberts, but we have different templates available as well, from auto, demo schedule for SaaS companies, general question for really any of the, if your client doesn't fall into any of these templates, the general question bot still does a great job and will capture 80 to 90% of the conversations. But we do have legal, medical, real estate, really a lot of professional services.
And then if you ever get lost in here, you can just click that logo on the top left-hand side, and that will always take you back to the home page of the dashboard. The next tab I'll show you, the next two actually, will be in reference to reports and analytics. So if we start out with view chats, one thing you'll notice is we've added little video tutorial clips in each area of the dashboard, so that if you ever want to learn more about a specific area, if you open that up, that will allow you to watch usually about a 30-second to 60-second clip to show you a little bit more information. But in here, we provide our clients with all of the transcripts to every single chat we've engaged with on their website. So what we show them is the date of every chat, the specific time that chat took place, the name of the visitor we chatted with, zip code for location, phone and email we captured for contact information. And then this is just a dummy account while you're seeing incompleted, but again, our chat conversion rates are 86 to 92%. So that's obviously something we're very proud of and share with on every phone call. And we also share source tracking, UTM tracking, as Jeff had showed. So very beneficial for marketing purposes. We can show these clients and companies where their leads are coming from and how beneficial the marketing efforts have been. So whether that's done through a Google ad, a Facebook ad, we take it a step further and show them that if it was from a UTM, we'll provide that URL to show them, hey, they landed on your website from this specific area.
Yep. And this can all be exported for further reporting. And then if you click view details, you can see the chat transcript of any conversation. So in this test, I think we jumped in just as an example.
Yep. And then we take the reports a step further. If I click on the last tab in the middle, reports and stats, we also provide our clients with a method of tracking their efficiency and a great area for them to check out the return on investment they have with our solution. So in here, we're very transparent with them on our performance. This is how many chats came in and initiated dialogue versus how many we qualified and converted into a successful lead for you, meaning we got all of their information. We will also show the impact we have on their reviews, how many positive we capture, how many negative we prevent from hitting the internet. We can also show them how many direct inbound phone calls we're driving to their business through the click-to-call installation. And then if they do decide to promote their About Us or their coupons page as that last tab on the bot, we'll show them the exposure it's getting directly from the chat solution. Down below, they'll also have a graph to display all of that data or information. And top left, they can customize these reports based on any time frame they'd like to take a look at. So by default, it's showing you last 30 days, but if you click on that, you'll be able to go back and customize these reports based on your preferences.
Yeah, and we also have integrations with Google Tag Manager and Google Goal Tracking. And at the bottom, here, in the little wheel icon. Oops. Sorry about that. In the wheel icon, if you go to the instructions tab, you'll be able to see instructions on how to integrate with Google Tag Manager, Google Goal Tracking, and it has some about details on UTM tracking as well.
Yep, and that was actually the next tab I wanted to show you, the little wheel bottom left. If you hover over that and you go to Manage Team, this is where we add all of the different email addresses and all of the different cell phone numbers, if any, that the client would like to receive email notifications and text notifications of their leads. Good note to make here is both of these are completely unlimited, very easy for us or the client to log in and update this at any point in time. That star will say review. Next tab I want to show you. At the end of the phone calls, I always ask them, where are you focused on capturing reviews? And I make a list of the ones they're focused on targeting, whether it's Google, Facebook, both, maybe any others. We will then copy and paste the URLs we find online with our support team. We'll click save on the right-hand side of the page, and those are the ones that show up when any clients or online visitors click on leave a review and select the green thumbs up. Installation over here in the middle, left-hand side, if I click on that, that will actually show you the simple set of instructions that we send across to the client's web developer We'll usually copy them on the email saying, hey, we had a great conversation with your client. They have decided to move forward with our product. Here's a simple set of instructions to get it downloaded on the website, and please use this script on the website. And this will save all of the building out and customizing that we did prior to creating the script. And then the last tab I'll show will be the second one towards the top left-hand side of the dashboard, messaging. If it's a slower day in the office, if it's a holiday, for whatever reason, your client staff members have curiosity and a desire to live chat themselves, they can actually log in here, monitor every single live chat that comes in directly into the website. And this is just a test account, so not much data to show you, but right in front of them, if a conversation appears, they'll be able to break the automation and chat back with the client. What you'll notice is if I click on notifications, notification for live chat is already on usually, but if not, we'll go ahead and just click on. We'll take the client staff members' names, emails, even any cell phone numbers if they wish, and we can notify them as soon as a live chat initiates on the website.
Yep, and you can also turn the live chat, the notification for a live chat starting off, and you can just be notified if the bot gets confused, and that's what this second tab is here as well. Yep.
And that's basically it as far as the demonstration on the chat solution and the backend dashboard. I think Brian wants to jump in and
yeah, I'll touch on the SMS as well. So obviously, if someone is sending a text message to the company, it's going to come into the live chat. The automation is going to kick in as well, but you can jump in. You can also send a text message. We'll text enable either a landline for the company or a VoIP line. And then from this tab here, they'll be able to send outgoing messages. And they can either turn the automation on for an outgoing message, or they can just have the live chat and they'll be able to respond once that customer has responded to their text message. So this is the portal for that. And that's kind of the high level for that. Cool. And then I also did want to touch on the integrations tab. So obviously we have some integrations, Salesforce and Fusionsoft. We have a Zapier integration coming out for additional CRM integrations, depending on your client's needs. For the Facebook integration, so our conversation does integrate with Facebook as well, which was a fun 6-month process. It's super simple to add it to the page. All you're going to want to do is log in with Facebook. Once the client's logged in, it's going to give them the pages that are eligible to enable the bot on, and then they'll just enable it on that page, and then it should be good to go. And then, let's see, for medical and legal clients as well, for any sort of sensitive chat activity that's coming through, we do mask that information for HIPAA purposes and attorney-client privilege purposes. So for those clients, to unmask the chat information, essentially they'll need a PIN, and then we allow the user, and we're tracking the activity log on that as well, just from a compliance standpoint. And then I think Andrew has covered just about everything else. And yep. Oh, one other thing I'll touch on, the manage working hours tab. So if your client is in the local services, something that comes up quite a bit is, hey, what if someone's chatting with the bot after hours and they're trying to schedule an appointment? So if that does occur, we can have the client set up their working hours Monday through Sunday, and they can specify if they're closed. If they're closed or if it's outside of their working hours, they'll also select their time zone. Instead of the bot saying, hey, we'll be able to help you right away, they can customize the response here. The default is just, thanks, we're closed at the moment, but you'll hear back from us as soon as we're back in the office. So that's another feature that comes up occasionally, and we're able to configure on this tab as well. Cool.
So Cam, is this something, I don't know if questions were queued up, but did you want to kind of take over and we can answer any questions that we have from the audience?
Yes, sure. I have one question here. So what if the SMB wants to get the live chat notifications and respond themselves, but fail to see the notification in time? Will the bot then kick in and take over?
Yep. So I'll go back to the messaging tab here. So by default, the automated conversation flow is going to kick in right away. If they want to have some leadway for them to respond, they can set this anywhere from 1 second to 45 seconds for them to jump in. If they have it set at 45 seconds and they haven't responded by that point, the bot is going to kick in automatically. By default, it's already at 1 second. So the bot's going to be conversing with the client, and then they'll be able to monitor and see that a conversation is taking place. And then if there were a conversation here, they'd be able to click a button to jump in and then take it from there.
Sounds good. I have another question here. Do we get our own chat bots so we can show and tell?
Yeah, we could definitely set Vendasta users up with either a demo account for themselves or kind of a demo dashboard and demo account that can be used collectively. But Cam, we'll discuss that, but we'll definitely come up with a solution. And any partners who are engaged, we'll definitely work closely with them to set something up.
Sounds great. I have one more just now. How many review sites can be in the chat box? Yelp no longer accepts third-party review software.
Yep. So if I go back to the reviews, so you can also add additional review links with an image for that. So if someone does click the positive review, we saw on Chaz Roberts, let's just do it again real fast. We saw the review images. They can add additional review links and sources with the image, and that would just be done through this add link, the custom links. And then obviously they can use the default Facebook, Google, Home Advisor, Yelp we will be removing as well. Yellow Pages, BBB, just the standard ones.
All right, perfect. That's all I have for now.
Awesome. So Cam, how do we handle if anybody has a question post-webinar? They don't necessarily want to raise their hand right now, but might have a question later on. Is that something that you'll coordinate for us, or
yes, for sure.
do we allow an outlet?
Yeah, so for anybody who has any questions about ZyraTalk after the webinar, what we can do is if you go into Partner Center, and there is just a button there that you can click, a contact us, and that'll go straight to the marketplace team and to the ZyraTalk team.
Perfect.
Perfect. All right, so I have another question here. Did I hear properly that texts can be sent from a landline?
Correct. Yes, we can text enable the landline, and they can send text messages directly from the landline. So we see it quite a bit. More so starting out before we had the feature, we were saying, hey, if you want to send outgoing messages, we're going to have to provide you with a number. And the issue was, if they're sending a text to their clients, they want to be recognized by their phone number. So we do have the ability to text enable landlines, the VoIP lines, so they can send text messages through our system. In the process of enabling, it's very quick. We typically have less than a 24-hour turnaround. So that's a pretty easy process.
All right. So another question is, what are the best industries to target based on your experience with past clients?
Yeah, so I'll take that one. So obviously one of the things that I failed to mention that differentiates us in the beginning is that we do have industry-specific conversations built. So when you look at other solutions out there, a lot of times they're generic, right? Or they're really expensive in enterprise. So anything professional service related, home services, legal, medical, right? Medical to us could be anything from dentist to ortho to chiropractor to acupuncture to cosmetic physicians, anything. Obviously, we have other templated bots built in there for real estate, home builders, insurance, those types of things. But really, anybody that offers a professional service is a fit. The idea there is automation captured leads really efficiently. So speed to lead is something that we specialize in, which is why our completion rates are 90%. We're really quick, get the customer what they want and get it to dispatch or their sales manager or their internal teams as quickly as possible.
Yeah, and we have clients like arcades, title loan agencies, just using the general bot, and they're seeing success as well. So we have a vast variety of client base.
Okay. Those are all the questions that we have. If any of our attendees have any questions, just type them in the chat box. We'll probably wait a few more minutes, probably a minute or so to get the questions in, and then we'll end the webinar, and I will follow up with any other questions afterwards. All right, so I have a question here about having a recording of the webinar and the presentation. So if you signed up with your email address, I will send the copy of the recorded webinar and the presentation as soon as I've edited it and uploaded it on our resource center.
Yeah, and I'd love to touch on that one again as well. So for any of these tabs also, if you just have any questions on how you want to present it to your client as well, we do have these page tutorials. I know Andrew had referenced that, but we see a lot of clients and partners utilizing this as well. So that'll be a great resource for you guys. Yeah, so what I just touched on were the watch this tutorial buttons within each page. So you can utilize these as well. So that was the gist of that.
There is a question on pricing. I don't believe we touched on the pricing for ZyraTalk for our Vendasta partners. So let me just pull out.
Yes, I'll jump in here. This is Andrew again, Director of Strategic Partnerships. So I'm not sure if this will be relevant pricing for Vendasta. That's something that we'll want to discuss here shortly. But for my own call, something that I'll share with you guys.
Or for like an end client.
Yeah, for an end client, retail rate is usually going to sit anywhere between $199 to $499 per month, completely flat. Why there's a little bit of a fluctuation there, and why I would relay $199 versus a $499 is going to be size of business. Something that helps me gauge on that for home service companies will be how many online reviews they have, how many technicians may be working for the business. These are good questions to ask prior to the agenda when trying to learn a little bit about the customer. But again, anywhere from $199 to $499, we've noticed to be the sweet spot. Reassuring that that's a flat rate is something that clients really like. A lot of times using a different chat solution, whether automated or live chat, what a lot of providers in the market are doing are charging a monthly rate, whether that's lower or higher is obviously to be determined. But what they also do is charge per chat. And that bill can really add up to be well over what we're charging. So really pitching the fact that we're going to increase lead generation from whatever they're using, but also be a more cost-effective solution is a huge plus on the calls and demonstrations that I go through. Yep.
All right. And for Vendasta partners, the wholesale cost for Basic Pro and Enterprise is $99 a month. Okay. All right. I guess that's all the time we have for today. I have no more questions left. Again, thank you, Andrew, Brian, Brad, and Jeff for being with us today and for taking the time to talk to our partners. And for all of the attendees that we have today, I will see you again next week on Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time for our next weekly Vendasta webinar. Thank you and have a great day, everyone.